Chief Parthasarathy, former High Commissioner to Pakistan, Sushil Pandit, well-known activist, Kashmiri activist, and Sushant Sareen, Senior Fellow of the Vivekananda Foundation. On the Pakistani side, General Rashid Qureshi, former spokesperson to Musharraf. Live from Islamabad, also Colonel Shafqat Saeed, and Achakzai, leader of the PMLN and a political commentator. General Qureshi, I want to start with you. Big snub, and tomorrow Barack Obama meets Narendra Modi. These are big powers that are meeting on the sidelines of a big global summit. India and Pakistan, India and the United States of America completely in sync. And this reminder from the United States is a reminder to you that 26/11 is not just another attack. It was an international terror attack that involved people from several countries, including 6 from the United States of America, murdered by Pakistani terrorists with the aid and abetment of the ISI. Your game's up. Your game's up. Your international utility is forgotten, General Rashid Qureshi. How are you going to deal with this?
I can't hear what you're saying. Your sound is weak.
So I think you can hear me. If you don't want to answer questions on 26/11, you can say it.
I can't hear you. What do you mean by don't want to answer a question? There's no question that can't be answered.
How could you hear what I said if you just heard me and that's why you're responding? And then you're saying, I can't hear you. I mean, obviously you can hear me.
No,
why are you putting up an act, General Qureshi?
I didn't hear your question. I mean, smiling, sitting as anchor of a program and not even, now I can't hear what you're saying.
Because now I'm not saying anything. Now I'm going to say something. General Qureshi, General Qureshi, the Americans are taking you on 26/11. General Qureshi, the Americans are demanding answers from you on 26/11. Your game is up. I'm sure you can hear me and I hope you will now respond. Your game is up.
First of all, Arnab, nobody is demanding an answer from Pakistan, by the way. It's something that you hear in your dreams that Pakistan is being asked to answer. There's no question asked from Pakistan.
Should I tell you what they said? Should I tell you what the Americans said? The American State Department has said, you want me to read it out to you? There were American citizens who lost their lives in those terrible attacks. We've long encouraged and pushed for greater counterterrorism cooperation. We're making our concerns clear to the Pakistanis that they need to go after the terrorist groups that are operating or seeking safe haven on Pakistani soil. That has been our clear objective for a long time now. We need to see more progress. I mean, you don't understand simple English, General Qureshi? Do they need to say this to you in some other language that you still don't understand, that they're pulling you up? They're calling you people who have deceived the global community.
They're not pulling us up, they are giving you a lollipop.
They're calling you sponsors of terror. You want them to say it in another language.
They are playing with you, they are giving you a toy. They are giving you a lollipop. The White House has recently issued a statement in which President Barack Obama expressed that Pakistan is an indispensable country when it comes to war on terror, and Pakistan is a valuable ally. This is a recent statement by the White House of which you are ignorant. Your eyes don't see such things, your ears don't hear such things. You can only concoct anything that is against Pakistan and then you build on that.
But the State Department said this.
You continue building on that.
But the State Department said, why are you shocked?
Now you are cut off. You are not audible.
Again, you don't want to answer questions. I'm told the line is clear with you, Shafqat Saeed. This is bizarre. Okay, maybe you lost the line. Now what's going on here? Mr. Achakzai?
Katiye.
What's going on here, Partha? What's going on here, Partha? What's going on here?
Well, my own feeling is that as this gets embarrassing, without them knowing it, someone from Pakistan television who's listening to this, or their communications will cut it off. That's quite possible. It's happened to me when I was in Islamabad in several conversations that I had with New Delhi. Phones getting cut off because the ISI wants it cut off. No, but on the more serious issue of this American action, when the first time they have referred to American nationals being killed, this is the first time in a statement by them, so openly, and holding Pakistan responsible. The message is quite clear that they have the evidence. Of course they have the evidence. All the evidence of the ISI involvement is there in the Chicago court, in the trial of Yusuf Gilani or David Hadley, and in the trial of Tahir Rahman, both of Pakistani origin.
Absolutely.
Both of whom, especially with regard to Dawood Gilani, who went and has given testimony in a court, having met ISI officials, having met Zakir Rahman Lakhvi, been instructed by them to carry out a recce to plan their attack. So when American nationals die, technically the Americans have to act. And this is the first time they are forcing knowledge that they are bound to act. As for General Rashid Qureshi's other statement, that,
No, first let me check if we can hear you. General Qureshi, you can hear Parthasarathy now? I hope you can hear him loud and clear from Islamabad.
No.
Are you asking me?
I'm just checking whether you can hear Partha, because I want you to respond to him. He's demolishing your arguments. Don't say later you didn't hear him. Can you hear Mr. Parthasarathy?
We were cut off for some time. Now I can hear you.
Okay, great. Now continue your point directly to him. Listen to him and then respond.
General, what I mentioned is that I don't take this as lightly as you do. Whatever the president said about your taking action, yes, you've taken action against your terrorists. But even President Obama and, more important, Secretary of Defense Ashton Carter and Secretaries of State John Kerry very clearly said that Pakistan has not acted, needs to do more. So let's be clear of that one thing. As for the other thing about your being very happy with the relations with the US, you were screaming uncle when they cut off $300 million of your military aid. And the US Congress is scheduled to meet again. They're specifically going to discuss Pakistan not acting on terrorism 2 days from now. So I wish you all the best of luck. I don't wish that you become more bankrupt than you already are. But the fact of the matter is, this is being taken seriously. And please believe me, it's not just the United States. Wait till the Europeans, especially Germany and France, join in. That's the second part of it. But certainly in the case of the United States, your media, your leaders have been screaming about the cutoff of the military aid.
Yes, Mr.
Not I don't get military aid. India does not go with a begging bowl asking for money from foreign countries.
What do you mean cut off?
Arnab,
I have the line with you.
Audible now again.
No, you have no answers to Parthasarathy, then say we have no answers to Parthasarathy. If Parthasarathy has silenced you, then say Parthasarathy has silenced me. I won't be surprised. He's one of India's best diplomats. I won't be surprised.
I know Rashid, we've lived through Kargil, when he was denying that there were any Pakistani troops on the slopes of Kargil. So we've known each other.
There was denial then, there is denial now.
I'm finding this fascinating, whatever is going on here. Mr. Achakzai, you can also hear, or has the line from Islamabad also been cut off with you? Can you hear, Mr. Achakzai?
Arnab, I can hear you loud and clear, if you let me rebut, the lies that have been put in front of you by your worthy participant, can I just, respond to your main argument? My argument is this: if you're talking about America's statement on Mumbai attack, remember America has arrogantly buy up Indian narrative on Mumbai without having much information. There has been no thorough inquiry of Mumbai attack. You know, there are several questions why the CCTV were closed. Who is Ajmal Kasab? He has no evidence that he was a Pakistani. We have no surname is there. And that is, Indian lies that have been fed up to Washington. And also, I think, Mr. Modi, when he said in China, in G20 meeting, he was right that there is one country that is sponsoring terrorism, but he had a slip of tongue. He should have said India, because it is India that has been involved in terrorism. We have Mumbai 3, we have Mumbai 4 in Quetta the other day, we have Mumbai 5 on our Wagah border. That is what the Indian RAW is doing it, and the proof is Gulbashan Yadev. You remember, we have asked you to think about Mr. Yadev. Do you want to care about him? And we also provided all the dossier to India. But, India has a problem. It has a problem with all its neighbors. I mean, give me one country in South Asia. Give me one name that you have got a friendly relations with. Now, Afghanistan is a staging post for terrorism because of India. Nepal is a staging post for terrorism because of India. You have a proxy war against Pakistan to China and Central Asia. And here you are accusing that Pakistan is sponsoring terrorism. I'm afraid, Arnab, you have got completely wrong. It's the propaganda that you want to sell it. I don't think somebody who has got a sane mind will buy this thing. So this is very important. When you say that ISI is doing something, oh, come on, it's RAW that is doing it.
No,
he has got covert operation. Look at Pathankot. You simply do not provide any solid evidence. You do not allow us to be there to investigate for you guys.
Achakzai, one second.
Simply use it as a propaganda.
This is not a PMLN rally going on, please.
Being bought up.
Mr. Achakzai.
And that is why nobody is buying all this.
You can hear me. Right, Mr. Achakzai, thank you for your
I can hear you now. Go ahead,
very strong attempt to saying something. I think what's come, Mr. Qureshi, one second. I want Sushant Sareen to come across. I'm finding my Pakistani guests a little shattered today. They're not themselves. You're losing your composure. There's something wrong with you. The way you're responding to the situation, Shafqat, Saeed, today. Maybe it's because you're going to go before the world stage with nothing to show for. The United Nations has asked for justice to be delivered in the 2611 trial. UN General Assembly is going to start. You will be embarrassing yourself before the United Nations once again.
Pakistan
I'd like Sushant Sareen to come
terrorism left, right and center. We have more than 50,000 people in Pakistan have been killed because of terrorism. We have several.
I thought yours is a serious news
that is
show.
What Pakistan has
but
shown to the world.
Into a bit
that
of a comedy show which these guys are on
I know you don't want to hear it. I know you don't want to listen to the facts.
I don't know what this guy smoked and come. But he comes from an area which is famous for narcotics, so I don't know whether he's imbibed some of that. Because it's completely delusional what he's talking. And this is the kind of delusional denials which you come across on a daily basis. But the problem now is for the Pakistanis, and if Mark Toner's statement today is anything to go by, or the fact that the Americans have cut back on the aid, they've denied them the F-16s, there are other measures which are on the anvil. And from what the spokesman said today, although he said that we haven't reached the stage of sanctions just yet, but when we spoke to American officials who were touring Delhi during John Kerry's visit, it was very clear that they are up to their neck with Pakistani duplicity. And there is very little patience with the kind of games that the Pakistanis are playing. Now the Pakistanis can keep saying that they have now, the support of China and all of that. But let's face it, once the American sanctions kick in, then I don't think even the Chinese are going to be there higher than the mountain, sweeter than the honey kind of friend. Now if this guy will stop ranting and stop smoking whatever he's smoking, I can talk further. Because otherwise if he keeps going on and on with the kind of verbal diarrhea he suffers from, then I don't see any point of even having a conversation.
I think now you
can't have a conversation with these guys.
Your argument has no logic.
I don't have
no sanity. You have no sanity in your argument. That is
General
no
Qureshi, General Qureshi, it's a very serious question. It's a very serious question, General Qureshi. Maroof, can I bring some order into this? My question is to General Qureshi and Shafqat Saeed, and I want Maroof and Partha and Sushil Pandit to come in on this. Mr. Qureshi, General Qureshi, I'm seriously asking you. Jan Achakzai, just 2 minutes के लिए आप घबराइए मत. आप घबराइए मत. Now listen to me.
Mr. Achakzai, Nawaz Sharif is going to promote you and make you a minister.
Yeah.
Not the other Achakzai, the other Achakzai, your cousin, who talked about Pashtunistan.
Okay.
He's a different guy.
Just think about your
He wanted the border at
I'd like to bring.
That's another Achakzai.
Partha, Rashid, Qureshi, and Shafqat Saeed.
Too many Achakzais.
Okay.
With different voices.
Okay. Can I get the other two guests from Islamabad along with Mr. Parthasarathy at this stage, please? Very serious question to you, Mr. Rashid Qureshi, and I don't want to shout over Mr. Achakzai, but if required, I will. Is it going to be worth it for you if you face sanctions? You're about to face sanctions from the Americans, General Qureshi. This process was demanded. The whole world wanted it when Osama was caught on your soil.
I heard.
Will you be able to deal with American sanctions? Because we are going to put as much pressure as possible to ensure that sanctions are put on America. Yeah.
When I start answering, don't start asking another question. To answer Mr. Parthasarathy, I heard him. Let me tell you that over the past 1.5 to 2 years, Pakistan has fought a war against terrorists that no other country in the world has ever done. Now that's a successful fight till today. Now, first. Second, I do not think that Pakistan is being selective. Just listen me out. I do not think Pakistan is being selective in targeting terrorists. In your opinion, you think that everyone who wants to infiltrate into Indian occupied Kashmir is sent by Pakistan or
Jammu and Kashmir.
It is not true. However, be that as it may,
say Jammu and Kashmir.
You just showed on your television screen that there were 90 infiltrations into Indian occupied Kashmir. Now, are you trying to blame whatever is the problem inside Indian occupied Kashmir on Pakistan? No. You do that just to brainwash your own people. That is not true.
No, what's it? Sushil Pandit, go on. Sushil Pandit.
And they can only be solved. They can only be solved.
Can I have...
If Pakistan
General Rashid Qureshi, does the name Bahadur Ali
dialogue
ring a bell?
And they discuss... No, hold on. Let me finish and then you can take your names. They can only be resolved peacefully by talks between India and Pakistan. That's something that a rational mind will understand. And if you do not want to understand that, nothing will then bring the two countries together. Time and again.
General Qureshi, it's very touching when Pakistanis talk of a rational mind.
We were progressing towards peace. We were progressing
now that you are
towards
facing
peace. It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate.
General Qureshi,
no.
A bankrupt
don't
country,
ask a question before I finish my answer.
No, General Qureshi, a bankrupt country facing sanctions will get nervous. But I need you to understand this, that you are in no position to face sanctions, and the combined might of the Americans and the Indians coming together.
You are in no position to say what
my
you're
question
saying.
to you was, are you in a position to face sanctions?
You have no idea.
How many days of sanctions will you be able to withstand?
Pakistan is not going to face sanctions. One.
You will.
You
are on the edge.
That's none of your business. This is none of your business. We
And
know
this is
how
not
to
the
deal
first
with
time you will face
with the United
sanctions.
States of America. Do
Maroof,
not teach us.
you are used to
come on,
sanctions.
show. You know, this is not. You are not here to ask us. You are not here to guide us on our diplomacy. It's none of your business. That is none of your business. You are simply, being ridiculous. I mean, are you teaching us diplomacy? Do you want us how to deal with America? That's what you are saying. Come on.
No. We know how you deal with America, sir. Hussain Haqqani has laid it bare
That's none of your
in
business.
magnificent delusions
That is
how
not
you
your
deal with
problem.
America.
That is none
and
of
now
your
Americans
business.
know how
That
you
is
deal with
for
them.
us, to resolve with the
problem is
Americans.
now
That is
Americans
not
have
your
come to
problem.
know how you deal with them.
We have convinced them. We have convinced
The world
them of
has come to know how
Afghanistan
you
that
deal
there is
with
no military
Americans
solution.
and
But
them.
I'm not here to explain our policy on Afghanistan. But you need to remember that India is answerable for its terrorism in Kashmir, for its terrorism against Pakistan, for its terrorism against Afghanistan,
Sir,
using
Hussain
its land against
Haqqani
Pakistan,
was your
and its
ambassador to
operation
US.
against the minorities
And he
within
has
India,
laid bare the
including
history
the
of
Muslim
dissension.
minority.
You say it repeatedly.
India has a case to answer.
You say it
This is
repeatedly.
why India lost
You know what, Jan Achakzai? Jan Achakzai, listen to me. Listen to me, Jan Achakzai. Listen to me. Listen to me now. Listen to me, Jan Achakzai.
Arnab, your problem is
say
your problem
Kashmir is an
that
integral
you come
part
with
of
a
India.
fixed
Say
point of view
that
and you
Kashmir
want
is an
to
integral
lay
part of
it
India.
on everyone.
Say, I want to hear you say Kashmir is an integral part of India and will continue to be, because in 1954 the Jammu and Kashmir Constituent Assembly unanimously ratified the state's accession to India. In 1956 the Jammu and Kashmir Constituent Assembly adopted on November 17, 1956 Section 3 in that constitution which says that the state of Jammu and Kashmir will be an integral part of India. You get that into your head, Mr. Achakzai. You get that into your head. You repeat that after me.
Part of India. It is a UN recognized problem.
I don't take Mr. Achakzai seriously.
Mr. Achakzai, one second.
I don't
Rashid,
take Mr. Achakzai seriously.
Partha wants to say
It's
something.
a
Rashid
joke.
Qureshi.
I would rather answer Rashid Qureshi.
Partha and Rashid Qureshi. Yeah.
Because I take
Partha and Rashid
I take
Qureshi.
Rashid seriously.
One second.
Yes, just remember, General Rashid Qureshi, you were the spokesman of President Musharraf. And we agreed to resume the dialogue after solemn assurance by President Musharraf that territory under Pakistan's control will not be used for terrorism against India. In fairness to your boss, he kept that agreement till 2007. His successor, Kayani, broke it. And we know the relationship between Kayani and Musharraf. No. So don't try to get around me. I know your country. The other point is, you're repeating that you're doing nothing in Kashmir.
Oh, we know yours.
Reminds me, General Qureshi.
We know your country.
No. Just let me complete. Let me complete. I'm talking highly of your boss, I say. The fact of the matter is, you're talking now about we doing nothing in Jammu and Kashmir. Even that fellow, Wani, was caught with an AK-47. The AK-47s are not made in India, they're made in your country. And they stumbled across from your country. And now you're saying they didn't come in. You remember when I questioned you during Kargil, and you said, no. Our soldiers are not there. They are Mujahideen.
They are not
they were Northern Light Infantry.
Not made in Pakistan.
They were Northern Light Infantry, not Mujahideen. The guy is coming in now. Same thing.
No.
And I'm quoting you, General Qureshi.
No.
Where you said they were Mujahideen. Later, we had to bury them.
No,
you wouldn't bury them.
General Qureshi.
You wouldn't bury them. They were your soldiers. So, look, as I said, there was a period when we had a dialogue because of the assurance given by General Musharraf.
Now when you have no argument,
only General Qureshi and Partha.
The problem with you is, when you have no argument in the current situation,
Mr.
go back 25 years. If I go back to what you did in Bangladesh, you will have
only
nothing
two
to
people
say.
speak, please. Can I have only General Qureshi and Partha on the screen?
It is so unfortunate.
General Qureshi, listen, I'm pretty sure that at some part...
You cannot hide the human rights violation there. This is
can I please... I'm only going to speak to General Qureshi now, please.
Yeah.
I'm only going to say something to General Qureshi. General Qureshi, see, I know it's not easy for you to come on an Indian TV channel and be told that you disowned the bodies of your Pakistani soldiers.
You did. Northern Light Infantry bodies were buried by us.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to say they were not their soldiers.
But the fact is...
And the same thing now.
That's the point.
Being a soldier himself.
Partha.
Tell me honestly, as a soldier, did you not feel for the families of the Northern Light Infantry? You're a soldier, General Qureshi.
Arnab and Mr. Parthasarathy, the problem with you is, you have come to discuss an issue today.
You raised
it. You raised it. 25 years. You are going to go back 25 years.
You raised it. I didn't. You raised it. You raised this infiltration.
What did I raise?
Let's settle it.
You raised it, not I.
You raised the
I
issue.
stuck to the subject.
Hold on.
I stuck to the subject.
No, watch it. I'll come back to the subject, and I think I'm going to settle this.
The Indian Army did in Bangladesh?
No.
Hold on. No. This is incorrect.
No, Mr. Qureshi. Since you want to reopen things.
Yes. About Bangladesh, you need to read Hamidul Rahman report. That tells you what happens in Bangladesh.
I don't want
No.
to
You need to read it.
You need to read that reckoning.
I was in the army at that time. I know exactly what happened.
I'd say once again, and I'm saying this to Mr. Qureshi. Mr. Qureshi, you are on an Indian television news channel on a program called Newshour. Across India,
Yes.
people are watching you. Across 80 countries,
Really?
people are watching
Thank
you right
you
now.
for the information.
And
Thank you very much, Arnab.
and I want to say this to you.
that I'm
Jal
on an
Qureshi,
Indian
see.
Yes.
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 You're always welcome.
An Indian channel, right? And you're always welcome on an Indian channel. My point is simply
how
this,
scary.
Jal Qureshi. That's all right. You have to be scared. But Jal Qureshi, you see, when you
It's
pick
very,
up
very
issue,
scary being
I'll
on
tell you-
an
I'll
Indian
tell you-
channel.
We won't take you
Can I
so
say this?
scared.
Can I say this to you, Jal Qureshi? Jal Qureshi, listen.
General Qureshi, that may be a kiss of death, our praising you.
No.
For the eyesight.
Partha, let's take this forward. Let's take this forward. I'm saying this to General Qureshi, and I'm saying this to all the Pakistani, the Rawalpindi crowd. You see, General Qureshi, you want to start a problem today.
Not the New Delhi crowd.
You start the problem, but I assure you, we are going to finish it. You understand what we are saying to you? You start
Really?
a problem, we are going to finish it.
That's why we have
you start,
a man of the rank of
you start a
Lieutenant
quarrel.
Colonel
You
in
start a
jail
quarrel.
in Pakistan
Listen to me,
for spying for India.
General Qureshi. I now want to say
Yes.
something to you.
Yes.
I'm not going to raise 1965. It will hurt your heart. I'm not going to raise 1971 because
my
you're going to
God.
collapse all over again because you haven't recovered over the surrender of 93,000
my
loser
God.
Pakistani soldiers.
Yeah.
But I will raise 1999 with you today. Since you raised this issue of infiltration with
your
Mr.
facts are
Parthasarathy,
way off.
since you raised this issue of listen to me and then respond. I'll give you full time. You raised the issue of infiltration with Mr. Parthasarathy and said to Mr.
No,
Parthasarathy,
you don't. You ask
mean
a
to say that
question
we are responsible
before I
for
can
the
answer
problem.
your first one.
Mr.
You ask a second
Parthasarathy
question,
then
and that's just to
Mr.
confuse the
Parthasarathy
issue
then went on
and
to give
your
you the
own
example of
audience.
the Kargil war, where you lost 2,700 of your soldiers. And the shamelessness was not of the fact that you had a pathetic or timid
How many
army
men did
that
you
got
lose?
beaten.
Arnab, how many men did you lose?
2,700 Pakistani soldiers died. 2,700.
4,700 men the Indian army lost.
2,700 Pakistani soldiers died, if my memory serves me right. Do you have tell me one thing. How do you
What
disown?
lies?
How do you
What
disown
lies?
your own soldiers?
That's
How do you
a
disown
lie.
the bodies of your soldiers?
That is a lie.
How do you disown the bodies of your soldiers?
Arnab, that's a lie.
General Qureshi, just
Just
as a
answer my
soldier,
question.
as a general officer,
multiplying
as a
the
general
losses
officer,
and
how do
dividing
you
your own
look
losses
at the
by
families
20?
of the Northern Light Infantry soldiers whom you refused to bury, whom we gave Islamic burial rights in India?
You know, every soldier, every person that is in combat with the Indian army is proud to have acquitted himself well. I have never heard of a soldier or a soldier's
I
family.
am glad for the first time.
Ever be
I'm glad
embarrassed.
for the-
Admission,
I'm glad for the first time.
admission on
I'm
this.
glad for the first time.
Admission.
You
I'm glad.
admitted he was your
Admission.
soldier.
And
I'm
Maroof,
glad you admitted he is your
whatever,
soldier.
whether it was
please,
65,
at long
whether it was
as a good
71,
soldier, at long last you
whatever.
admitted it.
Maroof.
You did not admit it when I was in Pakistan.
Yeah.
You kept denying when I was in
Admit
Pakistan.
what?
And I was told by our guys, they had to
Admit
give them
what?
Islamic burial rights because when we showed them their bodies to
Your problem
they said,
is
"They're not ours."
that you have made up
I-
your
I-
mind
I'll get General
that
Jaswal
this
on the
is what
phone
you
line
want
as
to
well.
say,
Maroof,
and then
Maroof.
you keep
I want Maroof to come
accusing
in.
the
Maroof.
other person that you
Maroof.
admitted it. And
Maroof.
finally, Arnab has admitted what India has been doing in East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, and what you've been doing all throughout.
What we did in Bangladesh was take 93,000 prisoners of war.
Let Maroof respond on Bangladesh, please.
One little
No,
point.
There were never
off track.
93,000 prisoners of war. There were never 93,000 personnel.
We've gone off
in
track
East
on the debate, but
Pakistan.
I'd like to take this forward.
So,
I'd like to take this
therefore,
forward because
you have your
because General
facts
Qureshi,
which are not based
General Qureshi, there's Maroof
on
who wants to
reality.
say something to you.
All uniformed
General
people,
Qureshi, General
including
Qureshi,
the
listen,
price of railway
listen.
were
I think you're looking a
accounted
little
for
hassled today,
42,000.
and frankly, I can understand why you are so. The Americans are after you. The Indians have exposed you. You know, you are imploding internally. Nobody knows whether in 2 months there's going to be another coup in Pakistan.
That
I can understand your situation
every
today.
week you
Maroof
start
would like
a
to say
discussion
something to you.
which has
Maroof
no
is
ending,
wants to say something
which
to you.
has
Maroof,
no
what?
facts, and you just brief
Then
your
why you
people
hassle if there are no facts?
because of
Maroof.
how you've been briefed by your own intelligence agency, RAW.
That's all.
Jan Saab,
Yeah.
Arnab, I've been quiet in the entire debate for the last 1 hour. I just want to make 2 or 3 quick points. The first point is that as far as the Americans now coming around to pointing fingers at Pakistan, there are 3 issues. One is that American law mandates it on the American government to seek down those people who were behind the killing of an American citizen. They have to be brought to justice. That is part of American law. They will gradually go around it. Up to now, America had strategic compulsions where they felt they needed Pakistan more, so they kept quiet. But I still feel the United States hasn't done enough. They have turned an eye away from Pakistan when it suited them, and they've looked at Pakistan in the eye when it suited them. Look at the classic example. They have put a bounty on the head of Hafiz Saeed, but beyond that, they are doing nothing about it. He roams free. So quite clearly, I am not impressed with the pronouncements that Washington makes. More so, because General Hayden, who was head of CIA, and in his meetings just after 26/11 with General Shuja Pasha, the head of ISI, Hayden has written in his book to say that Shuja Pasha admitted to him that the ISI was aware of the 26/11 operations. ISI apparently said, and the ISI head then said, that वो बंदे अपने थे लेकिन operation हमारा नहीं था. Now, as far as the Pakistani denials about 71, 65, 47 goes, I want to quote a very eminent American writer who's written a compulsively readable book on the Pakistan army. She has said that the Pakistanis lie so frequently that even when they tell you the truth, you can't believe them. So I don't believe a word of what Pakistanis are saying today or otherwise on the show, because it is in their genes and their congenital lives.
By repetition,
now, as far as 26/11 is concerned, America turning away from Pakistan, I think Pakistan, if they don't smell the coffee, it is going to be very soon a very severe reality shock to them. And if that happens, then I think it will be the point for India to stand up and embrace Uncle Sam. Until then, any pronouncement by America, I don't take it seriously.
Please read that book. Maroof, read book Who Killed Karkare to know the reality of 26/11. What are you talking? You think everybody is bloody fool around the earth that you can speak and you can fool them? Please open your eyes to the reality.
Log into General Asad Durrani's interview with Al Jazeera.
He was showing you inside your own country.
Read what
Come on, don't add lies to Don and the other books.
Asad Durrani
You go on telling lies and you think that it will become truth.
No. Do you respect General Asad Durrani?
Come on.
Do you? Colonel?
Don't check me on that. Please talk of reality. Now let's talk of 26/11. All the perpetrators of Samjhota Express attack are now are forefront spokesman and face of BJP. Your Prime Minister is siding them. He is giving judgment out of court on their their acquittal from the Samjhota attack. They were accused, and there was a detailed investigation by Karkare.
Listen, enough.
The reality of India.
I heard you there and now stop. Unlike you, Pakistan, unlike the Pakistanis, India does not live in denial when it comes to Samjhota and acts against all the accused. Even if some of them were allegedly politically connected.
No, you do false flag operations. All your operations are false flag operations.
2011,
what do you think?
The charge sheet before a special court under various sections of the Indian Penal Code and the unlawful activities.
Listen to me now. Let's talk facts.
5 accused.
Let's talk
now
facts.
you answer me.
I pity that army which cannot eliminate 5 terrorists protest in 5 days.
Answer me on 26/11
You
now.
can't make
Why have you delayed the
story
procedure?
of,
Why have you delayed the
attack.
procedure on 26/11?
No,
Shafqat
don't
Saeed,
talk of that
listen to me.
nonsense.
Why have you delayed the procedure on
It is nonsense that you want us to
26/11?
proceed against the
Why have you delayed the procedure on 26/11? 7 years on, you think it's a joke?
This is your
You think
own
it's a
doing.
joke? You think
Whom
it's
you
a
want to be
joke?
fool?
7 years
Look
on,
at
the
your
trial
whole
is still
army, they
continuing.
cannot eliminate
You think it's a
5
joke?
Pathankot for
You
5
think it's a
days?
private matter?
You
The
think
latest
America would
update only
believe
25 days
people
back
around the
on
world are
August
bloody fool
13th,
that they would
in a
believe
bid to
it.
keep
Come
Lakshmi
on.
out of jail, the Pakistan government
Come
wants
on,
more
Arnab.
evidence from India
Talk
for the
sense.
trial to proceed. You
go
want
to
more
an
evidence?
extent,
You think
are
it's
so
a joke?
lowly in your argument.
You think it's a
You are
joke?
so
We've shown you
bankrupt
enough
in morality.
We
You are
have
so
shown you
bankrupt in
enough
logic
proof and more.
that you go so
Shafqat
lowly
Saeed,
that
you have
go and-
closed your eyes
you
to bring
concoct the
justice
story of
to the
Star Pigeon.
166 lives in the 26/11 attack. We have
Come
given you
on.
enormous amounts of proof. We've told you about Hafiz Saeed's role in orchestrating the attacks. What are you
here.
talking about?
You had
You're
only
blind,
one ground to
and that
hold
is why
India
you're going to
together.
face sanctions.
And you are
and that is why
eliminating
you're
it
going to face
yourself.
sanctions.
You have played hell into.
You only
you have
deserve
played
sanctions.
hell into your
Only
secularism.
under sanctions
You
will
would
your-
now
will your
keep
eyes
shouting
open
that
to the
all
reality
India
of
is
what your
integral
country
part of
deserves.
India.
listen.
Because
Now,
you
one
are
second. Partha is
disintegrating it
also
yourself.
responding to this.
listen.
And
I've
the
listened to
present
this for a long
uprising in
time,
Kashmir
but now we're going to
is your
respond
own
right back.
doing.
Partha, please. Partha.
With regard
Partha,
to-
please.
You had
Partha.
to
Partha,
impose
Shafqat
curfew
Saeed. One
for
second.
over
Calm down,
60
Shafqat
days
Saeed.
in
Calm
all
down,
the
Shafqat Saeed.
districts of
Partha is
Jammu
responding to you. Go ahead, Partha.
Look,
That is
Partha.
pretty
Look,
shame on the part
the
of
fact
India.
Partha.
the fact of the matter is that the entire trial of your Headley and Tahabur Rana in Chicago, the court documents
Headley
contain
is known
details
for lying.
of the, please,
Headley
please,
is known
please,
for
please.
lying. You always try
Colonel,
to
I
get
did not.
acquittal. No.
Colonel, I thought you were a
You've been
gentleman
lying
from the
on
army.
numerous
You're a
counts.
gentleman from the army. I didn't interrupt you. Why are you interrupting
Partha,
me?
don't tell lies. Look,
I didn't interrupt
no,
you.
Headley has made confessions 6-7 times.
Yes.
And every time he had tried to get acquittal.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. I am giving you court. I am quoting from court documents. Court documents in Chicago. Our consulate has them.
Forged documents. They are forged
Yes.
documents.
Court
He's a liar.
documents.
Court documents
documents.
in the trial of Hadley.
Because he does not
That-
have a record of a witness. He cannot stand
Can I ask him
witness
one
in a
question?
court.
Can I ask him one question?
All right.
Can I ask him
He
one
cannot
question?
stand
Can I ask you
witness
one
in a
question?
court.
Partha, can I ask 2 questions, please? Now listen to me, Shafqat
Headley
Saeed.
has
एक आपसे
lied
मैं आपसे
number of
गुजारिश
times.
कर रहा हूँ.
He's
सुनिए
a
शफकत
perpetual
सईद
liar.
जी. सुनिए शफकत सईद जी. सुनिए शफकत सईद जी. आप मेरे साथ
यार,
झगड़ा
मैं
मत
शफकत
कीजिए.
हूँ,
झगड़ा
अर्नब।
आप लोग 1971 में किया था. आप लोगों ने आपको
अर्नब,
पता
मैं
हुआ
शफकत
पता
हूँ,
चला क्या
शफकत
हुआ
नहीं हूँ।
1971 में. अभी की बात कर रहा हूँ आपसे. Fact of the matter is you have fake promises to
71 की बात
expedite the
कर लेते
trial
हैं, आ
of
जाए
26/11.
71 की बात कर लेते हैं. आप लोग उस वक्त
अब
टेररिस्ट
71 की क्या बात करें
भी
अभी
हैं, उस
आपकी
वक्त
तो?
भी थे. 71 की बात
अभी
कर लेते
71 में क्या हुआ, अभी क्या बताया आप लोगों को?
कौन से POW कैंप में थे सर?
71 में क्या हुआ? आप अपने
आपको 71 का टोटल पता लगेगा. डेड
Debates
रेकनिंग
with the
मारूफ
same
कुछ कह रहे हैं आपको?
Pakistanis are so irrelevant. They have nothing new to contribute. They are compulsive liars. Why are you entertaining them? They have no sense of history, no objectivity. Everything which speaks against them is contrary to
you
their
are bankrupt
thesis,
on logic.
is not
You are
acceptable to
bankrupt
them.
on morality.
अपना खुद का हमीदुर रहमान
You
रिपोर्ट
are
पढ़िए
known
सर.
for
अपना
excesses
NDC
against
का
your
रिपोर्ट पढ़िए,
minority.
नेशनल डिफेंस
You are
कॉलेज
caste divided
का.
society.
वो आपकी पोल खोलता
आप क्या
है.
बात कर रहे हैं मेरे
हम
साथ?
लोग को तो छोड़ दीजिए. आप अपने
कहते हैं
डॉक्यूमेंट्स
कि
पढ़िए.
सेंट्रल पार्ट क्या कर
You
रहा
will
है?
get a
प्रोटेस्ट
reality
कर लेंगे.
check.
हाँ.
You guys are living in voodoo land. You have
आप
no
लोग-
sense of
आप लोग
reality,
कितने
no
bankrupt
sense
हैं
of
morality
truth.
में?
You are
कि
compulsive
आप लोग
liars.
झूठ का सहारा
You
लेते हैं.
conjure up all sorts of facts.
You are compulsive
And you would
liars.
like to believe you are
You are
superior.
hypocrites.
You are going down
You are
a dark
hypocrites.
hole and there is no light at
बगल
the
में
end of
छुरी
it.
मुंह में राम राम. You are hypocrites of highest order.
Maroof, point them to the
आप
Musharraf
क्या बात
interview
करते
in
हैं? आपका
Sama
प्राइम
TV.
मिनिस्टर से कोई हाथ नहीं
It is a
मिलाता.
confessional.
Have you forgotten?
Confessional.
आप
The
भूल
Musharraf
गए.
interview
आप
in
भूल
Sama.
गए
Sir,
कंपनी का विजिट मोदी का.
जनरल साहब,
उसके साथ.
आपने जनरल शाहिद अजीज
Chancellor,
की
German
आर्टिकल तो
Chancellor
पढ़ी
never
होगी.
shook hand
ये
with him.
खामोशी कब तलक?
आप लोग जाके हाथ जोड़ते रहेंगे
Really?
हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर
How
को छोड़ दें अपने
interesting,
मुल्क
isn't it?
में.
How come we don't
आप
know
किस
about
मुंह से
it?
हमसे बात करते हैं भाई?
I think.
आप बात नहीं कर सकते.
कर्नल साहब, आप लोग का टाइम आएगा जब आपको आपके टाइम आएगा, आप खाली you will become the parking point
आपको
of
पता
every
लगेगा
bloody
मारूफ साहब.
terrorist group in the
आपको
world. You
पता होना
already
चाहिए.
are. You are such a pathetic lot. I don't know why we get you on the show to discuss with you.
You are the biggest supporter of the terrorists. You are responsible for the death of 149 children. You are responsible for the death of 70 lawyers in Quetta. You are responsible for all terrorist acts in Fatah. Yes, you are responsible for that.
You stop there.
Singh Yadav has done it.
Arnab, why are you listening?
You stop right
Arnab,
there.
Why do you subject yourself to this delusional, demented diatribe? Why do you subject yourself to this again and again?
I want to.
Is this what we? Is this
John
debate?
Kerry has said Maroof. John Kerry has said that.
I mean, is this what you call a debate? This is a one-sided, demented diatribe. Why are we wasting our time with them? I've never understood it.
1 minute. Maroof, 1 second. Maroof, let me tell you one thing. Rashid Qureshi sitting there quietly.
Arnab, this is complete bullshit, if I may use the term.
Rashid Qureshi.
What are we talking to these guys about? They have no sense of reality. We're wasting our time and you're wasting time of the viewers.
1 second.
If this is the kind of theatre we want to put across, lie after lie after lie. There is no sense of objectivity and reality.
There's this crazy fellow in Pakistan called Saeed Zaid Zaman Hamid or something. He is the person who, after the Peshawar attacks, said all things against India.
Zaid Hamid.
Whatever. Zaid Hamid or something like that. Yeah, I mean, he's
Lal Topi.
Yeah, he has no sense of balance.
Yes.
My question is that Rashid Qureshi, why don't you tell the gentleman sitting next to you that for God's sake, the Tehreek-e-Taliban took the blame for the attack in the Peshawar school. Stop spreading venom about India. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan claimed responsibility for the attack on the army school.
In fact,
and said it was a retaliation to the military operations in North Waziristan, the Khyber Tribal Agency, if I'm not mistaken.
In fact, genuinely, I as a grandfather.
Your blood is on your hands.
Watch it.
Don't
do this. Don't do this.
No, I just listen. I as a grandfather was shocked, and I was proud that Parliament observed a 2-minute silence and condoled their deaths. Their children. Let's not play.
Schools lit candles.
Just a minute. Let's not play politics with the lives of children.
Yeah.
Your children, my children, they're all children.
That is
don't do this, Shafqat Saeed.
That is crocodile tears.
Don't do this.
That is crocodile tear.
What crocodile tears?
That is crocodile tear.
You can call it crocodile tears. You can call it crocodile tears.
Yes,
you can call it crocodile tears. But school children in India holding candles in sympathy for them in my capital Delhi.
Stop it!
That was all show. You are very good in making dramas and film.
I'm glad General Rashid Qureshi, like a good gentleman and a soldier, understands what I'm saying. I'm glad. No wonder you didn't rise above Colonel. No wonder. You don't have the gentlemanliness of the general on your right.
You are exposed.
How can you talk like this?
That's why I said,
I'm very
look
worried.
at the difference. That's the difference between a general officer and a colonel.
That's why Pakistan is where it is.
Don't fool around with children, I say.
Arnab, they are a hopeless lot.
I'm horrified.
You are not going to get anywhere from them. And if you think you are going to get an admission from the Pakistanis or you're going to get them to convert to your thinking, you are living in a dream world. I am sorry. They are a bunch of completely delusional idiots, if I may use the term. I am completely exasperated with them. Day after day coming and telling the same lies.
You are idiot, Maroof.
No, you have to at some point of time.
I am exasperated.
At some point of
they are
time. Hopeless
lot. No. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't get some sensible Pakistanis to have a discussion with.
Shafqat Saeed, the Taliban spokesman, Muhammad Khorasani, on the phone said that we successfully entered the army school. He said what we did there. I don't understand why Rashid Qureshi, you don't stop Shafqat Saeed is sitting to your left and tell him that whatever may be happening,
bringing
don't speak
children
rubbish.
in, for God's
Why
sake.
did you stop him?
And thereafter the
You know what the
university as
fundamental
well.
issue here?
The fact of the matter is, even if we fought conflicts, even if we fought conflicts,
that is what
both the soldiers on both sides behaved like gentlemen. That's why you didn't go above colonel and he's a general.
Bhai,
Let's observe certain decorum and norms when it comes to children, when it comes to soldiers who lay down their lives for their country, whether they are Pakistani or Indian. They're soldiers.
Now
There is a certain respect you have to have for institutions.
Yeah.
Too late for them to learn, sir.
No, no.
I remember what they did to the bodies of our
I can see the difference
soldiers.
between a general and a colonel.
No, but I remember what they did to the bodies of our soldiers.
No, leave that
That's
aside.
not how a professional army behaves.
No, listen. As far as I'm concerned, we, by and large, we fought conflicts, but certainly more observing the rules of war than the European.
I'm just extremely disappointed at the way these guests have responded here today. And
Arnab, Mr. Parthasarathy, sir, let me remind you and the audience. Arnab, let me remind the audience that it is the same Pakistan army which not only abandoned their dead in 1999, but in 1971, they conducted rape and plunder to such an extent that when they surrendered, they begged the Indian army to allow them to keep their weapons. Otherwise, the Mukti Bahini and Shanti Bahini would have lynched them to death. That is their track record in Bangladesh.
Achakzai.
So they have never been honorable and they have never behaved like gentlemen. This is recorded. This is recorded in their own documents. It's not a figment of my imagination. Like Mr. Achakzai is rattling out non-issues
and that India has become very insecure place for women.
Achakzai Sahab,
taking place in Delhi.
Achakzai Sahab, you handle your own bloody
Arnab,
backyard.
Can I just one sentence?
You handle your backyard.
Arnab, just give me one sentence. I know you don't have the courage to listen to me. Yes, I know you can mute my you can mute
Arnab,
my
can I remind
but
this
have a courage to listen to me. Let me say this to you, Arnab, through your audience, I would like to say this, that India is a nation, that you are becoming a nation run by a terrorist, for a terrorist, and promoting terrorism in the region. That is what India has been doing.
Put any other third world country to shame.
We will finish this war. We will never be broken.
Your ISI mentors, unfortunately, Achakzai, have only tutored you in half-truths.
I'm sorry to say that India cannot, we are not Nepal, we are not Bhutan, we are not Sri Lanka, we are not Afghanistan. Remember, you are talking to dignified.
Arnab, let me give you a little anecdote.
There's some untruths were put out here by
Arnab, let me give you a little anecdote.
Rashid Qureshi, my last question is to you and Mr. Qureshi. Mr. Qureshi.
Arnab, let me give you a little anecdote.
Mr. Qureshi.
Arnab, one anecdote.
No, one second. Maroof, 1 minute. I just want to say, Mr. Qureshi, can you hear me? Mr. Qureshi. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Qureshi? Can you hear me, Mr. Qureshi?
A little louder,
Mr. Qureshi, my last question to you is this. If you want to see any progress in the relationship between India and Pakistan, and believe me, despite everything that you do, we would like to see progress with you. You're going to have to stop people like Colonel Shafqat Saeed, again. I think this is incredible. It speaks for itself. I thank you all for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.